Storytime with Ellie the Shih Tzu.
Excuse me, I am an Imperial Shih Tzu.
So sorry. Storytime with Ellie the Imperial Shih Tzu.
That's better. Hello there, peasants. How are you doing? Oh, that's nice. I really don't care. So anyway, I thought I would take time out of my fabulous day to tell you all the true story on how Thanksgiving started. There seems to be a lot of confusion on how this all began, and considering I have a doctorate in Thanksgiving history, I decided to bless your ears with some truth. It all began when Christopher Robin sailed the ocean blue in 1992. As I'm sure you have all learned in school, Christopher Robin was a Canadian explorer who crossed the Black Sea in search of New Zealand. But instead, he merged onto the wrong ocean current and he came across the beautiful land of America. Of course, back then it wasn't called America. It was named Pocahontas or something. Anyway, that's not important. Christopher Robin paddled his little boat onto the shore and was met with some very confused native village people.
Sorry to bother you, but is this the New Zealand?
The village people stared at him oddly.
I am gonna take that as a no.
Christopher Robin stared back at them.
Do you guys like to play hockey,
And one by one, each of the native village people began holding up their hockey sticks as a sign of peace. After many hours of celebratory hockey playing, they all decided to sit down to a glorious feast to celebrate their new friend, Christopher Robin. Now, see, this is where everyone gets it all wrong. People assume that Christopher Robin had something to do with all the deaths of those village people, when in fact it wasn't him. It was because of the small chickens they were eating. The village didn't believe in vaccination, so when exposed to the small chickenpox virus, they all died. And you know, they weren't exposed to it when they were young, so yeah. They died from smallpox, also known as the tiny chicken disease, not from Christopher Robin. Idiots. Christopher Robin was so upset, he fell to his knees and began to cry at the loss of his new friends.
Why? They were innocent!
While he was crying to the blue corn moon, a wild Abraham Lincoln heard his desperate calls. President Lincoln exclaimed,
I will build you shelter.
And he did just that. Abraham Lincoln began building not just a few houses, but villages, towns, even cities perhaps, with his Lincoln logs. That is why, in 1983, President Jimmy Carter proclaimed that once a year, every year, we will celebrate the old Indian holiday of Thanksgiving, which is of course Cherokee for whale farts, and we will eat turkey to avoid reliving the deaths of all those who died from the tiny chicken disease. So that is the true story on why we celebrate Thanksgiving. The end. Darbie wanted to give a special thank you to Noah Began for editing my story together. Thank you, Side-Ho. Also, you should subscribe to Darbie's channel to get updates on when she releases videos. And while you're at it, go to her Facebook page and like it. Follow her on Twitter and Instagram, but only if you want to, because I really don't care. And send her lots of treats to give to me. Thank you.